Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at Bedford High School, home of the defending Division I state champion Bedford Bulldogs, where they will play an NHIAA Division I girls basketball game tonight against the Pinkerton Astros. And I'm joined by the head lady for the Pinkerton Astros, last year's Division I runner-up, Lonnie Buskey. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Speaking about this team and the fact that you guys were runner-up last year, you saw this Bedford team a couple of times. What differentiates this particular team from last year's squad that made it all the way to the finals?
I got a little bit of youth this year that I didn't have to utilize last year. I was really heavy on upperclassmen. So my starting crew is pretty heavy on upperclassmen, but my bench is, they're young. But with youth comes, they don't really know any better. You know, they don't really know any better.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. So our whole goal this season has been to build a bench, to build a playoff bench, to build a playoff caliber bench, and what better chance to grow than to play the reigning champs.
So you're kind of like putting the plane together while you're in midair, which has its own sort of adventure along the way.
It comes with frustration, but I'm being patient this year. But you don't learn until you're faced with these kind of challenges.
Sure,
You know, you can go out and play some games and win by 50, but you're not learning anything. So this is really a kind of a test for my young ones. Can they handle this kind of pressure?
How have your older girls kind of brought those younger girls along here in the early part of the season?
More, not necessarily with the plays and whatnot, but more on the mental fortitude, the idea of hanging tight, being able to handle conflict resolution, not getting down on yourself.
Good.
When you're in a bind, you can't hang your head low. You got to come together more. And my leaders have been doing a good job of that.
That's great. Can we expect to see anything different tonight from your girls, considering the fact that this is a team you might see down the road potentially? So is it going to be vanilla tonight, or no, we're going all out and trying to get this one?
Well, Kevin and I even made it worse for ourselves. We're playing twice this season, so we will in fact see them no matter what.
Yep.
We kind of decided this summer it would be good for both of our squads. It's just good competition. So yeah, we'll be a little vanilla tonight, but with my young ones, it's going to be more, we're already a little vanilla, so now maybe we add a little chocolate today so we can grow some confidence.
Okay, well, you brought up Bedford, so let's talk about the defending state champs, and the team that you're very familiar with. And if you're not, you certainly will be by the end of this year.
I'm familiar with them.
What have you seen on film from this Bedford team that you have to manage tonight in order to have success?
Annie Zink has gotten even better than she was last year. Watching how Annie Zink handles this squad, her presence and her composure on the offensive end. She left the role of just utility player, and she's kind of leading them. So you got to pay attention to Annie. Their speed is unbelievable. Sarah's speed is unbelievable. Kate's a Division I player going to play at BU. And then you have Mel with just her size. So they lost Lana. But they're still a hell of a team. So.
Coach calls Lana the cheat code, as it was, and so it's interesting to see that. But so for you to have success tonight, obviously coming out of here, if your girl's able to win, that's icing on the cake. But how are you going to measure success from your team tonight? What do you have to do, and what are you going to look for? Throw the score out the window. What are you looking for from your kids?
A full game of consistency. Consistency the entire game. Being able to handle the runs, whether we go on the run or they go on the run, how do we handle that? And really, do I have a squad that can play a full game of really intense basketball?
Well, we're going to find out in just a few minutes here. Coach Lonnie Buskey, the head coach of the Pinkerton Astros, going to do battle tonight here on the campus of Bedford High School against the defending champ, the Bulldogs. You are watching on the highlight, but guy, we'll be right back for the opening tip right after this. Thanks, Coach, and good luck. All right, have a great night. Thank you.
That's Anthony D. He gets out to the 25. He breaks another tackle to the 30, the 35, the 40, 50, the 45, the 40, 30, 25. There's nobody near him.
No flags.
What a play.
Anthony D goes the distance. D stands for distance. Come the Clippers. On the low block, kick out downtown.
In front of the goal mouth, they jump for it. The header finds the back of the net. Hadley Camo with a spectacular play.
Welcome back to the campus here at Bedford High School. You are watching on the Highlight Guy. Jason Roby calling the play-by-play for you. And Coach Brad Craik will do the color commentary. Coach, welcome back. Glad to have you here in the booth as always. And Steve Cody, the man on the moving pictures, the man behind the screen. Brad, these two teams, they were state finalists a year ago. A little bit different, both of them. What are some of the things we should be looking for tonight from this Pinkerton team first, and then from Bedford to kind of measure where they're at? Both teams enter 4-0 tonight. They'll play each other twice during the regular season, but what should we be looking for here tonight?
Yeah, I think you start with Pinkerton. They're really their big three kids. You know, they have three centerpiece kids from their state finalist team last year, led by Sid Gerasi, kind of a four-year starter at the point for them. You may remember, didn't actually play last year in the regular season game between these two teams. Had a great final, but I think it starts and finishes with her. She's going to be under tremendous pressure from those Bedford guards tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll see how she handles that pressure, and then obviously Kaylee Dupuis, senior forward, and Brooke Benz. That trio, I think, is really going to have to carry them if they've got a shot at winning this game.
And across the way, Bedford. They graduated what Coach Gibbs liked to call the cheat code, and she's having great success at the collegiate level now. But this is a different team as well. What makes this engine go over here for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, well, you know, I think conventional wisdom is that you start with your Division I, BU-bound Kate Allard, and you know, I think she's sort of the prohibitive odds-on favorite to be the Player of the Year and off to a great start. But what I've always really thought makes this team go, and Kevin's very fortunate to have these. He's got two dynamic, incredibly athletic guards that control the pace and tempo of these games, not even so much from an offensive perspective, but they just wreak so much havoc defensively that they are very difficult to handle. And if those two control the tempo of this game, that's a huge advantage for Bedford. And Annie Zink and Sarah Muir in particular is who I'm talking about. Is just incredibly, as disruptive a backcourt duo defensively as I've seen in a number of years.
We talked about, Brad, you and I, prior to going on the air here, these two teams will play each other twice in the regular season with a very real possibility that they could meet again in March. Do you like that? Do you not like that? Do you like the element of surprise, or is playing twice, iron sharpens iron, kind of the mental thought there?
Yeah, I even back from when I was coaching at Girton, we would always prefer to play a very tough schedule. And 5-6 years ago, before some of the rules changed and the scheduling changed, it was pretty common to play some of the better teams twice. We used to play Pinkerton twice, Bedford twice, Londonderry twice, etc. So I love it for both of these teams. I think I heard Lonnie, talking to you in the pregame interview about, her kids aren't going to get any better, and I know Kevin feels the same way, beating someone like a drum by 50 points. It's not good for anybody. So having, two of the top teams in the state playing each other twice, I think is a big positive across the board.
It should be a good one. We'll take this time out for the national anthem. We'll be right back with the tip after the anthem. All right, great job there by the Bedford High School pep band as they played the national anthem, and this is going to be a good one. Jason Roby calling all the action for you. Brad Crake on the color commentary. The man on the moving pictures, as always, is the highlight guy, Steve Cody, and this is a clash of the Titans. Both of these teams enter here tonight with 4-0 records. This Bedford team had runs, 4 wins, and they had a nice run in the Londonderry Holiday Tournament. This Pinkerton team also is formidable, 4-0. As Coach Buskey said, they're looking to develop players 6, 7, and 8 off of that bench, and anything goes here this evening. These two teams, they're so good and so alike one another. Their color schemes are even the same, red, black, and white, as you can see down there on the floor. Bedford in their home white uniforms, red and black down the side, black numbers outlined in red, and Pinkerton Academy wearing their red uniforms, white numbers outlined in black. Pinkerton will go right to left on your screen, Bedford left to right, and we are just about to get underway here. One of these teams going to leave here undefeated, one with their first blemish in the regular season. It's the home of the Bedford Bulldogs, the defending Division I state champs. Ball is up, tip is won by Bedford. They will start in the half court. Sarah Muir got the ball over the top to Zink. We'll watch Zink closely tonight. Bounce pass goes into the corner. Man-to-man defense here by the Astros. Good denial defense, Brad. Reaching around there, trying to get in front was Mia Marshall.
Looks like Pinkerton's man-to-man. I'd be very surprised if you didn't see some man-to-man and some zone from Coach Buskey tonight, just mixing things up, trying to keep Bedford a bit off guard.
Inbound pass comes underneath. Good body control. Sarah Muir up and in. 2-0.
Here's your pressure.
Bedford will pick up. Allard looked like she got beat off the dribble by Kaylee Dupuis, so we'll see how close that she tries to mark Dupuis up moving forward. Inbound pass coming from Bedford. Or rather Pinkerton on the low block. 2 dribbles, kick back out. And the Astros will reset at the elbow. Drive, kick. Flasher through the lane, ball fake, no. Nice job following up, leather souffle. And that was 12 blocking 25 as Zink became accustomed with Mia Marshall. 2-0. The Bulldogs on top. Early going of this one. Look at the 3-point shot. No. Lost the dribble. Finding on the low block and going to get hacked in the act. And Brad, I'm going to ask you this question as Dupuis gets hacked. Taking that dribble, does that buy time for the defense? You know, should she have just gone up, or do you like the power dribble, power move, and then up?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the situation. I think, you know, a lot of times, you know, you want that kid to go up under control. So kind of that big power dribble jump stop just to gather themselves and get themselves under control is usually a pretty good thing. Picked up a foul there as well, so.
Yeah, and you get the foul, right? Muir, or rather, it was a Zink on the foul.
Yep.
5'11" freshman forward.
And I think one of the keys tonight, Jason, is going to be, you know, can Pinkerton put pressure on the rim? We talk a lot about, you know, not settling for threes. You know, Bedford's so good defensively, but I think the only shot you have against a team like that is you got to basically just attack them and see if you can get downhill to the rim, get a couple of their key kids in foul trouble. I think if they settle for 3-point shots and perimeter stuff all night long, that's a recipe for trouble for anybody that Bedford plays, and, you know, including Pinkerton.
Speaking of a recipe for trouble, number 23 drop step Melody McCarthy, power move to the cup, and she gets hacked in the act. She'll head to the line for a pair. Melody a little bit different than her sister Brad in that she can also hit the outside shot as well, right? That's kind of the thing that maybe differentiates her a little bit.
Yeah, not obviously not as long as her sister was. You know, Lana's 6'4" all day long. You know, Mel, as you point out, got a little bit more range offensively right now than Lana did it as a sophomore. You know, the other thing she did, I don't think you remember that state title game last year where Lana picked up her 3rd foul early mid-3rd quarter. Pinkerton was making a real run. Mel came in and really completely changed that game.
Right.
It was just a huge factor in that run Bedford made in the latter part of the 3rd quarter as a freshman, which is pretty impressive. So, you know, she brings her own unique skill set to this thing, and a very physical kid, understands the game, and picking up right where her sister left off.
Travel call on the Bulldogs as they drove the lane, so the turnover will give the ball back to Pinkerton. Here's the full court pressure Coach Craig spoke about. Handling it, coming up the right side, and now reversing herself. Nice pass on the baseline, got caught in no man's land. Downtown, three-point shot, and a Yahtzee, and a make for Emily Leonard.
And here they come right down the floor. They are so quick.
Transition defense going to be something we're going to watch here tonight, Brad, I'm guessing.
I think that's huge. I mean, Bedford loves to get out and create offense in transition, early offense, and we used to joke with our kids all the time. Even the best teams are not always very good in the half court.
Yeah.
Bedford's seen a lot of zone this year. They've shot the ball really well, but I think they want to generate as much of their offense in transition and early as they possibly can.
Officials talking about something off to the right of the collar of the Bulldog, and we're seeing 3 officials employed here tonight. A lot of times you'll just see 2 officials. So does it make a difference, Brad, number of officials in a game, and if so, how?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. I mean, the games are typically called a little tighter when you got an extra set of eyeballs, on the game. So foul trouble usually becomes a bit more of a factor than you would see in a game refereed by 2 officials.
Dribble drive kick out there. Pinkerton thought about the three-point shot. Instead, they get it down on the low block, up and under, and a pretty make there by Kaylee Dupuis.
Called it off, called the travel on her.
Oh, they did? Okay. Thank goodness you're here, sir. Wow, I thought that was a nice move, but as it is, it's a travel, and so still 4-2. Pinkerton on top, downtown. Misses everything out of bounds. Possession will go to the Astros.
So you've seen 2 possessions in a row. There's a little chess game going on between Coach Gibbs and Coach Buskier right now. Kaylee Dupuis's been bringing the ball up the floor. I think, probably to take a little bit of that pressure off of Sid with those dynamic guards. So we'll see what happens going forward and whether they try to give Sid a little bit of a break bringing the ball up the floor.
Pinkerton's handled that full court pressure well the last couple of times down the floor, so they've obviously probably worked on that a bit in practice. Downtown, three-point shot, Yahtzee! And a make there for Brooke Bentz.
Great start for Pinkerton, Jason. Great start.
Gonna get a foul called here against the Astros. That'll go against number 33, Sid Gerasi. That's her first. As far as team fouls go, Pinkerton with 2, Bedford has 1. The race to 5, not a race you want to win. Down on the low block, McCarthy gets double teamed, goes up with a nice little baby hook shot. Nice play there by McCarthy.
Yeah, there's Dupuis bringing the ball up the floor again.
And I think
I like that move for them right now. We'll see how that plays out over time. But
here's the transition, and it went off the foot. Was unable to keep it. And we go back to one of those first possessions, Brad. You mentioned that, and it looked like they have Kate Allard trying to check her, and it looks like she's able to get a step on her, although they turned the ball over that time.
Yeah, look, I just like the move.
Yep.
Of taking the heat off of Sid. Annie Zink, and like I said in the pregame, Annie Zink in particular is just a huge difference maker. You just saw it right there with the deflection.
Good quick hands by Zink.
Those 2 guards make everything difficult for whoever's bringing the ball up the floor. So taking her off the ball in the backcourt early on here has made a nice difference for him.
Zink bringing that pressure way out, pick on ball, and Zink runs through it. Downtown, no. Good box out there by Allard, and she'll run. The soon-to-be BU player got it out to the perimeter. Side iron, no, and Pinkerton has a breakaway. Can't make the layups. Gerasi unable to get it to go. Ball fake dribble into the paint. Allard goes up strong, no call. Good defense employed there by Emily Leonard. And back the other way comes Dupuis and the Astros. 3:40 to go in the first quarter, 7-4. Pinkerton lead, and there it is again, Brad, is you got to make those layups, and back the other way comes Allard and finishes it at the cup. So a 4-point swing right there in effect as you miss the layup, transition back the other way. Allard all alone, never put the ball on the floor, and it's 7-6. Your thoughts in the early going of this one, Coach?
Yeah, good start. Look, I think good start for Pinkerton. They've not allowed Bedford to speed them up too much. Again, I love the move that Coach Buskey's made, taking Sid off the ball until the ball gets into the front court. That's alleviated some of that tenacious ball pressure. You know, so far Bedford's one and done on their misses.
Yeah.
So you know, good early start. You know, the key thing is going to be just that wilting, constant pressure over 32 minutes. And you know what Bedford has done to a lot of people over the last couple of years is you know, they hang around, and then the dam breaks.
Right.
So we'll see if you know, we'll see how that chess match plays out, and whether Pinkerton can sustain that poise that they've started the game with.
Well, the dam was set up in the form of full court pressure, and we'll see if Pinkerton can get through it.
You know, Sid's really crafty with the ball, but you know, she's got to work to get the ball into the front court. So you know, will that wear them down over 32 minutes? We'll see.
No shot clock here in the state of New Hampshire. Nice pass down on the below baseline, and a good make. Good recognition as Benz has 5 points, able to finish on the backside of that nice pass. Muir back up top now. McCarthy looking for help, finds it. Zink.
It's 2 on Sid.
And 2 on Sid the Kid Gerasi. So the senior captain, 5'8" guard, we'll see what Coach Buskey does. And Buskey talked about the development of her bench, and missed there. And you mentioned it again, Brad. It's a one and done. Back the other way comes Pinkerton. Kick out, dribble drive, kick out, top of the key, Yahtzee, and another make there for Mia Marshall.
So on the other side of the floor, you know, you look at that. You know, you look at the matchups here. Mia Marshall is trying to check Mel McCarthy. You see early in the game that, you know, they went to Mel on back-to-back possessions to start the game. We'll see if they continue to do that.
Allard find herself in the corner. She brought it back out, and they'll reset with Muir. Sarah now sets the offense, finds Allard. They go down to the low block. Mel's double team.
There it is.
It matters not. Nice finish at the cup by McCarthy. She has 4.
That's a tough matchup for Pinkerton if Marshall's going to try to check McCarthy down on the block.
A near steal there. Allard hits the deck. So does Dupuis. Pinkerton turns the ball over. Allard sends it. It's a 3 on, or really a 1 on none, as sprinting out there was Muir all alone. We're going to get a timeout called by Coach Buskey. A quick one. It is a 12-10 advantage for the Astros, but momentum very real here, and you see it starting to shift, Brad. Good timeout by Coach Buskey.
Yeah, great timeout, and I think she's going to have to use those along the way here. You know, the last thing you want to let this explosive Bedford team do is go on a 6-8, 10-point run, and they can do it in the blink of an eye.
Errors that are coming as a result of Bedford pressure, but some of those almost looking self-inflicted in terms of turning that ball over. It doesn't just happen, but you know, the pressure by these Bulldogs, as Coach mentioned, over the course of a game, it starts to wear on you, and eventually they turn you over, and they're able to get points in transition. You see
so interesting here. You know, we're closing in on 7 minutes into this game. Bedford's not made a substitution yet, and Pinkerton just made their first one. So, you know, conditioning could be an issue here. Not so much right now, but as the game goes on.
Quick one and done. And back the other way in transition comes Bedford. Nice feed down there, and a pretty make as finishing at the cup is Zink. Locked up at 12, and now the full court pressure comes once again. They backed off the last time, and now they're full courting it. Marshall, left-hand dribble, nice bounce pass, but another steal, and back the other way comes Muir. Another pass down there, couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound, looked like a blocked shot, but as it is, they're going to give that foul, I believe, to Brooke Benz. That'll be her first.
Pace of the game starting to really, you know, skew in Bedford's favor. You're starting to get up and down. You see you see that pace and that tempo starting to really make a difference.
What do you have to do, Brad, in the half-court offense to try to limit that if you're Pinkerton? How do you combat that as hitting the first of 2 is zinc?
I think you just have to be tough on the basketball. You know, they've as you say, you know, the pressure's wilting over time, but you know they've turned it over, you know, on passes here, 2-3 straight possessions. So you know, some of it's just the boring basics, right? Catch, face, protect the basketball.
Sure.
Try not to get pushed around and bullied around. You know, you got to play downhill even against a team like this.
Good man-to-man defense again employed by Bedford. Nice pick on ball.
Nice
Trying to feed the low block. They do. Good positioning and a good finish there by Benz, and she has 7.
See, I think if I'm going right back to the block here.
Yeah, good denial defense there with the long arm, and the double team was coming over, but it was knocked away before that could happen. The Bulldogs will run an inbound play from underneath the hoop. Near steal there is getting her hand up was Gerasi.
Really interesting matchups, right? I mean, it's, again, this little chess game is awfully interesting. They've got Dupuy and her length on Sarah Muir. And they've got Mia Marshall trying to check Mel in the block. You know, if I'm Bedford, I'm just going to pound the ball down there until they take that away.
But they got Mel around outside the key, and that one, she lost the handle to it. It almost went in off the backboard, but as you mentioned, want to set up shop down there on that block and try to take advantage of it. Inbound play, baseline was cut off. They got it back in the paint. Good help defense. You can get a backcourt call here. So another turnover. This Pinkerton team, death by a million paper cuts here, is you're self-inflicted at times. We are locked up at 14 with 8.9 seconds to go in the quarter. You're watching on the highlight guy. Nice pick on ball, good movement. Muir, like a hot knife through butter, finishes at the cup. And a nice inbound play. She'll finish the quarter with 6. We'll head into the second quarter, and Bedford with a 16-14 lead, a game, or a quarter rather, that Pinkerton really controlled for most of that 8 minutes. And as you said, eventually things start to happen for this Bedford team, and they find themselves with a 2-point lead going into the second.
Pretty good first quarter. I think both, you know, I think both coaches are probably okay with the first quarter. I think, you know, Alani being in a 2-point game probably feels pretty good about that. You know, Kevin probably not particularly happy early in the game, but the last 3 minutes I thought Bedford started to tilt the floor a little bit.
When these two teams play each other, and I asked Coach Buskey this in the pregame, do you try to hide some things? Do you try to, you know, keep the other side guessing? When you've played a team twice or even 3 times in a season, Brad, how did you approach it? What are some of the things that you like to do differently from game to game, or did you? Or did you just kind of do what you do?
Yeah, more the latter. And it was probably a little bit of a function of my lack of patience and you know, maybe potentially being a little too competitive in the moment. You find yourself in the middle of the season in a really tight game, and you know, your focus moves very quickly to, I want to win this basketball game.
Sure.
You know, and you do what you got to do to try to win a game. And, you know, if somebody sees a little something, that, you know, so be it. I don't know if that was a smart move or not, but I always found myself, you know, trying to be in the moment and win a basketball game, particularly against a good team.
Well, you got to think, too, at the end of the day, and a nice make there at the cup, contorting her body and finishing is Allard. You got to think, too, at the end of the day, as this thing gets going, the competitive nature of both of these teams come out. And as you mentioned, we want to win the game. You know, we're not thinking about what do we need to hide, right? What do we need to conceal and be devious about, you know, down the road. You want to win the game now and give yourself some, you know, a good feeling going into the next one.
Yeah.
19-14 now. The lead is ballooned to 5. Going to the cup, that one was tipped. Marshall had a good look at it but couldn't finish. Spin move, Allard, no, too hard off the glass. McCarthy followed it up and couldn't get it to go, and nice job on the glass by Pinkerton. Good rebound by Benz. Pinkerton, oh. Got caught in the air, did Marshall. It looked like she put the ball down before her feet came down, but it looked like one of those things you see on a Saturday morning rec league by a little kid. They kind of jump up and they push the ball down, and I think she may have got caught in between doing what she wanted to do.
Nice move.
Good move, missing at the hoop there. And Dupuis will come the other way. Ooh, pick on ball, and you're going to say offensive foul there, which is, it looked like a pretty good pick by Mia Marshall, but
I have absolutely no idea. I mean,
I think that's.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. They're gonna.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if they're gonna talk it over, and it looks like they might. Will they reverse the call?
It just looked like she set a screen and she got knocked on her. She got knocked on her butt. But
yeah.
I don't think it was a moving screen, but
well,
I don't see well anymore either.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I can relate to that.
Great, by the way, great officiating.
Yeah,
crew.
good crew.
These are three of the best officials you're going to find across the state. You know, Dave Zwicker's been doing this a long, long time, and you know, it's nice to see. It's nice to see this group out here tonight.
I like what they're doing. They're talking things over, and they're making sure, you know, Coach Gibbs has a chuckle about it and walks away. But I think it's a good job by the officials to come forward. They want to get it right, obviously, and they give Pinkerton the ball back. So
yeah, nice piece of officiating right there.
And I think that'll be Allard's first foul, and it is. Gerasi now, crossover dribble, nice move, marked up well. Good ball movement by the Astros. Good unselfish play, looking for their best opportunity. Good collapsing defense by the Bulldogs.
And this is okay right now for Pinkerton. I mean, they're taking good care of the ball. We do not have a shot clock right now. They're in no huge rush, and they're looking for good looks, possession in and possession out.
That was a great look by Gerasi. She couldn't get it to go. Nice bounce pass. Stepping in the passing lane there was Taya Brown, the 5'6" sophomore guard. Got her hand in there before it could end up in a layup. But that last offensive look there by Gerasi, it was a good one. Got to get it in. They go over the top to McCarthy at the elbow. Now she'll come back to the top of the three-point line. That ball, they're going to say, went off of Bedford.
That's the right call.
And I think so as well. And here comes the pressure from Bedford. Got to get it in, and they do. Find Brooke Benz. Benz, nice pass underneath to Brown. Brown lost the handle in the key. 3 bodies hit the deck. We're going to get a jump ball call. Possession will stay with Pinkerton. So you got to take care of the basketball. I'm sure that's something both coaches will impress upon their teams every time they head back to the bench. Take care of the ball. Brown got it in to Gerasi. Sid the Kid now. Left-hand dribble, top of the key between the legs. Pick on ball and a good one set there by Benz. Gerasi, step back. No. Good box out there by the Bulldogs, and coming away with it is Zink. Little delay. Muir into the corner to Allard. Baseline drive. Double team came. Nice pass. Finding Sarah Muir. And the junior guard has 8. Good crossover dribble by Brown. Got it over the top to Gerasi from the elbow. Harassed there. She was able to give it up to Dupuis. Dupuis now to Brown. Back to the top of the key it comes. Gerasi's not shy. Back iron, no. And it was a good look. Just couldn't knock it down. Nice pass to McCarthy. And I think that went off McCarthy's foot. And a good job of both officials working together there as Grace Wolf will check in.
9-0 run by Bedford in the last 4.5 minutes of the game. Pinkerton's got to figure out a way to score the ball a little bit. They're getting decent looks, but it's got to start making some shots. And
they hit 3 3-pointers, Brad, in the first quarter, and they've gone 0 for here in the second from downtown. So technically that could be the defense. It's good quick hands. Nice dribble drive. Marshall went up strong, couldn't get it to go. Cleans up her own mess. Gets it outside. Dupuis, Yahtzee. Coach Craig pulling out the crystal ball. A steal there, and a good one. Sid the Kid didn't have the numbers, so she'll reset the scene. Crossover Into the corner it goes. Brown up to the top of the key. Triple threat from Marshall, looking for help, using that left foot pivot. Bends now. Over to Brown. Little delay. Takes it to the cup. Had to alter that shot based on the length of McCarthy. And back the other way come the Bulldogs. And better transition defense by Pinkerton.
Yeah, Bedford's gone away from that post mismatch. We'll see if they get back to that with Mel on the block.
And they'll have her run a pick and roll. Going high off the glass was Annie Zink, and she's on the board. That double team stayed up top with McCarthy, and Zink kind of had a free run to the hoop. Crossover dribble, nice move there. Kick out, unselfish, downtown, no. One and done, rebound went to Wolf, she cleared the glass. Grace to McCarthy. McCarthy back up top, downtown. And that missed everything. They were not able to keep it in as Wolf had her foot on the baseline. Checking in will be number 12, Emily Leonard.
Big 3-minute stretch coming up here. 6-point game. You know, Pinkerton staying connected here. We'll see if they can kind of keep this thing to, 3, 5, 6 points, or if Bedford extends that lead into a double-digit halftime lead. Big important stretch here, I think.
Pinkerton handles the pressure. Baseline, finds herself in no man's land. Kick it out, they reverse it. No, and that one's going to go off of McCarthy's hands, so Pinkerton will get another chance. Another grab at the ring. 23-17, 3:15 to go here in the first half. Jason Roby, Brad Craik, and the highlight guy, Steve Cody.
That's 3 on Gerasi.
So Sid the Kid with her third foul, and Coach Buskey wastes no time in heading to the bench. We'll see sophomore guard Courtney Russell check in for Sid the Kid. We got a shoe being tied, and we'll see if they let in Ava Collins, and they do. So Collins will come in. McCarthy will head to the bench and get a break.
Danger zone right here, right?
Yeah.
Sid's on the bench with 3 minutes left. 6-point lead. Let's see what happens here in this final 3 minutes without Gerasi on the floor for Pinkerton.
Pinkerton will fall back and pick up in the half court. Triple drive Zink. Lane was cut off. Zink directing traffic. They were looking to Collins on the block. She'll rotate through. Nice little pull-up jumper off glass. No. Rebound by Wolf, and she goes up strong, can't finish. Pinkerton comes away with that one, and they'll run. Bedford gets back in transition. This is Courtney Russell with the left-hand dribble. Looking for the backdoor cut. Little too much mustard on that hot dog. Russell was able to come away with it. Pinkerton loses it, but they're going to say it went off of a Bulldog paw. So Pinkerton fortunate to keep possession there. 2:41 to go in the first half. Doing the honors is Brown. She needs to find somebody, and they go airmail over the top. Good help defense, but the foul's going to be called, and it's going to go against Allard. I have 2 on Catherine. Heading to the free throw line will be Emily Leonard. She'll get 2 bites of the apple here with 2:39 to go. Front irons the first, she'll get a second. Leonard, a couple of dribbles, 1 out of 2 for the 5'7" senior guard. Back the other way comes Bedford. Nice give and go on that pass. And finishing at the cup was Muir. She's got 10. 25-18. And I think you're right, Brad. I think Pinkerton's going to come away with a stop here on one of these as they're getting some points, but then they're giving them up at the other end. Taya Brown will head to the line for 2 free throws. That foul's going to go against Grace Wolf. That's the 5'9" junior guard's first. Relatively clean game played here so far. Can't get the first to go. Brown will get a second. He'll get some height back in there as Kaylee Dupuis will check in, and nice job on the floor by Marshall. Allard grabs that rebound. She'll head over half court. Nice move into the middle of the paint. The double team came, but Allard, showing great body control, knocks in her 7th point. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 9-point advantage for the Bulldogs. Oh, a little leather souffle. They're going to say no, it's a foul, and it's going to go against Ava Collins. So heading to the line is Dupuis. She'll get a pair. Even though it's been frenetic at times, Brad, pretty good control by both of these teams. In other words, that things haven't been that frenetically out of whack. We've seen good pace, but we've seen good control by both of these teams.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty well played basketball game in the first half. 2 good teams, 2 good coaches. You know, as you said, you know, for extended stretches, we haven't seen the craziness. Bedford's had a couple little spurts here and there where that tempo has really helped them, but pretty good game.
Downtown and a Yahtzee for Allard. It was a matter of time. And Dupuis went 1 for 2 on her trip to the line. Pinkerton running, and it looks like they're going to get the foul call on Muir. But probably safe to say you can't let Kate Allard be alone on that baseline 3. She was uncontested. She has 10. That foul goes against Karina Kameneni. And knocking home the first, rattling it in, is Taya Brown. She'll get a second. Muir will head to the bench. Back iron on the second. Looks like Juliet Laws has just checked in. She has the ball now. Baseline cut off there nicely. They'll circumnavigate the globe. Ball comes back. Low block. Double team comes. Into the corner now. Now back to the low block. Up top. From the foul line. Runner in the lane. Good defense by Pinkerton. And good second effort there by Wolf. 32-20, biggest lead of the night for the Bulldogs. 12-point advantage with 50 seconds to go in the first half. Nice kick out. They're going to call travel there. And I counted 2 steps, but I was never really good at math. 45 seconds to go. 12-point advantage. Bulldogs trying to make that lead grow. Offensive foul. And a little push there called against Laws. That'll be her first. That's the 5th team foul, but it's an offensive foul, so they will not go to the line. Got to get it in. They briefly had someone open downtown, couldn't get it there. Pinkerton, see if they force it or hold for the last shot.
Travel. Ooh, got away with the travel there.
Back up top it comes to Dupuis. Dupuis hands it off. Benz gave it up and back to Dupuis. Here comes a triple team. Couldn't get it to go, and it was a good look for Dupuis, but she did everything but finish with basically 3.5 Bulldogs on her. Dupuis unwilling to give it up, and as a result of that hustle, Brooke Benz, the beneficiary of that Annie Zink, or rather that Kaylee Dupuis hustle at the half. We'll head to the half. It is a 32-22 Bedford lead. Jason Roby, Brad Craik, the highlight guy, Steve Cody, bringing you all the action here. Thanks for watching on the highlight guy. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back with our first half analysis after these messages. Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization.
One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guide can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguide.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguide.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Welcome back to the campus of Bedford High School, home of the Bulldogs, the defending Division I state champions. They have a 10-point lead over last year's runner-up, the Pinkerton Academy Astros. We're ready to get things underway here in the third quarter. Jason Roby, Brad Crake, and Steve Cody, all with the highlight guy, bringing you the action. Thanks for watching. Brad, your thoughts on the first half, and if Pinkerton wants to get back into this thing, what do they need to do?
Yeah, look, I think they need to. They're going to have to make some shots first of all. You know, when they made shots early, they were hanging around. If they went through a little bit of a maybe 3-4 minute stretch where they didn't score the ball, had some decent looks, just didn't go down. Missed 2 or 3 threes. I think critically missed 4 free throws there in the second half of the second quarter, which would have kept them a little bit more connected. So, as usual, it's not. I don't think it's rocket science. It's just, take good care of the ball. Really try to avoid allowing Bedford to speed that game up. They just need their key kids to make some shots here in the second half and stay connected, make it a fourth quarter game. And, really the flip side for Bedford, the faster they can play and the more chaotic and hectic they can make it, the better it is for them, I think. And you saw that in short spurts where they got out and ran a little bit, got some easy buckets in transition, and, basically took a tie game to made it like an 8, 10, 12-point lead there, late in the second quarter. So kind of a contrast in styles, and Pinkerton wants it a little more methodical and the ball in the hands of their key kids, and Bedford wants this thing to be a track meet.
So Bedford gonna put their feet in the blocks, so to speak, if we stay on that track reference, and start things coming over the mouth of the Bulldog. Setting up in the half court, and we see a zone or a box in one maybe being employed here by the Pinkerton Astros, Brad?
I think it looked like a 2-3.
Okay. I thought I could have. A zone regardless in some way, shape, or form, and in and out. Rebound goes to the Astros, so even though Bedford got a second opportunity, they come away with no points. So an important possession there for Pinkerton. Setting up now is Benz. Benz gave the ball up to Dupuis. Dupuis over into the corner. Leonard thought about it and gave it back to Cayley. Cayley looking for that backdoor cut, and the ball gets knocked away and stolen, and back the other way comes McCarthy. Good transition there, but good. Oh, and stealing the ball from Dupuis was Allard. She had 10 in the first half. She now has 12. 6 players for Bedford in the scoring column there in the first half, led by Muir's 10 and Allard, who now has 12. On the other side of the ledger, it was Brooke Benz with 9. Out of my kitchen, banished from the kingdom of hardwood, says Allard. Possession will stay with the Astros. Doing the honors is Marshall. Got to get it in. Having trouble finding anybody. Has to go way over the top. Finds Dupuis. And now they'll set up in the half court. Gerasi had the ball knocked away. It goes into the backcourt, but there is no backcourt violation because it was knocked away by Zink.
You just watch that. Look, just check out that ball pressure, right? I mean, it's just wilting. And there's Gerasi getting on track.
Brad,
they're going to need her.
I was just going to ask you, if Pinkerton going to come back in this one, they're going to need Sid's offense.
Hey, look, she's a very dynamic kid offensively. If she gets going, she can put the ball in the basket.
Good job on the glass by Pinkerton. Bedford had a couple of looks at it, but the Astros continued to battle. Lead is 10, 34-24 Bulldogs. Little delay on the baseline. Pull-up jumper comes up short. Cleans up her own mess. Good body control there by Benz. She has 11. 34-26. Pinkerton needs to put a couple of defensive stops together here. In and out. Reaching over the top was McCarthy. Dribble drive through the lane. Zink finishes at the cup. They came with some pressure. Pinkerton handled it, but they don't have the numbers. And as it is, Benz will start things over. Gets the ball up top to Gerasi. Gerasi's not shy. Yahtzee! Someone woke Gerasi up. She knocks down a triple.
It's a great move. It's just such a well-coached group there, and Annie Zink recognizing that she's got Sid Gardner with 3 fouls and 2 possessions in a row. She's going right at her.
So as much as they need Gerassi's offense, they also need her not to pick up a fourth. Gerassi will chuck one from top of the key, and the ball will stay. So Gerassi threw one up, but it looked like it was a foul. I think it's going to be, McCarthy.
I think it might have been on Annie Zink.
It was Annie Zink. So that'll be Zink's first foul. Into the corner now, left-hand dribble at the elbow. Going through and fouled in the act, and a great dribble drive there by Mia Marshall, and she'll head to the line for 2. That's going to go against Eva Zink. That's her second personal, team's second. Calmly knocking down the first. She'll get a second is Marshall. And this is a kid in Gerassi, Brad, looking back. She can go off, can't she? We talked about the scoring ability of this young lady, and you mentioned a couple of years ago, she dropped 31 on you guys, right?
Yeah, you looked up, you looked up and she had 31 on us, and really just dominated the fourth quarter of that game.
Good ball movement by the Bulldogs. Wow.
Great pass.
That is just unselfish play there as McCarthy finishes at the cup. Or Allard, rather. McCarthy, I was right, excuse me.
Bedford's guard starting to get to the rim here pretty regularly. Nice move.
Forcing the action back the other way is Benz. Oh, knifing her way through. Sarah Muir picks up her CDL license, navigating her way through the lane. Up top it comes, Gerassi between the legs, step back. And a lot of confidence in that shot. It came up short, but you can see a difference in, it looks like her mentality here. Dribble drive, help came. They tried to kick it back out across the way. Gerassi stuck her hand in there, trying to get the steal. It'll stay Bulldog ball. 3:38 to go in the third quarter, 42-33. Both of these teams with aspirations of making it back to Durham, New Hampshire, competing for a state championship. A lot to happen before that point. The runner, out of my kitchen. Brooke Benz sends one into the student section. Zink to do the honors. Annie looking for help, looking for Allard. Allard was marked up late. They come into McCarthy. That's a great second option. McCarthy can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, pull-up jumper, no. Nobody boxed out Zink. And Pinkerton fortunate there as they're getting beat on the glass. And you have to wonder if that is exactly what Coach Lonnie Buskey's going to talk about as she takes a full timeout. 3:13 to go, a 42-33 advantage for the Bulldogs, and the pep band plays on. You didn't see this, but Steve Cody was out there dancing on the head of the Bulldog at halftime to some of the band tunes, breakdancing 80s style. The worm, the knee spin, the back spin, the robot. He's
got ice on himself.
He was
got ice
cutting
all over
up
right
the
now.
floor. He was as sharp as those teeth on the Bulldog there at half court. I know you're picturing it home. Oh, so this Pinkerton team will play again on January 10th. They'll host Winnicott for a 5:15 tip-off. So that's an interesting time, a 5:15 start. This Bedford team will be at Memorial on January 10th, a 6:30 tip. It was a 7 o'clock start here tonight. I want to thank you all for watching The Highlight Guy. Jason Roby, Brad Crake, Steve Cody, and a cast of thousands out in the van in the frigid temperatures here on the campus of Bedford High School. Little jump stop, kick out, Dupuis, downtown, front iron, no. And that one will come over half court. And a good job there of getting it in the backcourt, losing it off her foot. Here comes Annie Zink over the top. Good control, can't get it to go. Ball gets tipped out. A battle there. I think it went off of McCarthy, and it does. Unfortunate there as Mia Marshall was cherry picking out near the Bulldog, and that could have ended differently if not for McCarthy sticking her hand in there. Benz, right hand dribble crossover in the paint. Good movement of the feet by McCarthy, and another steal. Back the other way comes Muir and finishes at the cup.
Bedford guards kind of taking the game over here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Muir's got 14. Spin move, penetrate, ball gets stolen again, and Bedford will run. Muir
They're gonna need timeout here.
gets on her Pontiac and rides, and she has 16 to lead all scores. Pinkerton down 13, third quarter. Dupuis will dribble over to the baseline and give it up. Now Benz looking for help. Gerasi flashed through the paint, didn't get it. Now they wanted to get it to her, but again, the Bulldog paws are just firing everywhere, knocking that ball away, and Pinkerton will get possession, but the passing lane's being shut down by this tenacious Bulldog defense. Dupuis to inbound, comes into Sid. Gerasi crossover there. Good pressure defense. Gerasi will reset the scene. Gives it up to Brown. Brown got it back over the top to Benz. Triple threat position. Some stagnant Pinkerton feet here, and now they find Gerasi. Good help defense. Gerasi with the fadeaway. What a pretty Kobe shot, couldn't get it to go. Better transition defense there, and it went off the hands, or the paw rather, of a Bulldog. I think it was Allard. So Pinkerton getting back in the transition that time, but what a pretty pretty fadeaway by Gerasi. Everything but the bucket. Well, a problem the three of us don't have up here. Got to tie our hair up and back there. 46-33. Back the other way come the Astros. Runner in the lane, now kick out. Long two-point shot, knocked down there by Brown. They lost Brown on that defensive effort. And again, great body movement by Muir. She's having herself a game. Sarah Muir, look at her, the Duke defense down there.
They just keep coming at you, Jason.
Yeah.
You know, they just keep coming at you. They're relentless.
Very similar to my high blood pressure. Relentless. 49.3 seconds to go here. 48-35, 13-point advantage. And it's been 12 or 13 pretty much this entire second half. Dupuis heads to the line. Calmly knocks down the first. She'll get a second. Checking in is Wolf, and heading to the bench and getting a well-deserved rest is Muir. Pinkerton not going away. 2 out of 2 for Dupuis. She's 4 for 6 here on the evening with a three-pointer to go along with it. Downtown, Allard Yahtzee.
All triggered by the dribble penetration, you know.
Dribble, penetrate, kick. That was a staple for many years by those Bishop Gurdon Cardinals. The team that Coach Craik led to several state titles. Nice move, couldn't get it to go. It was just dribbling and showing some wizardry there by Gerasi. She just couldn't finish. McCarthy kick out, offensive foul called against McCarthy. And I think, Brad, that's just Melody's first foul of the evening. Ten seconds to go in this one. 51-37, 14-point advantage. Gerasi at the buzzer, good if it goes. Front iron, no, we'll head to the fourth. It is a 51-37 Bedford advantage. And Brad, the lead grew by a couple of points, but it was an inside-outside game for this Bedford team in that third quarter. And every time Pinkerton would make a move and cut into that deficit, Bedford seemed to pull further away.
Yeah, I thought that game, that third quarter was really dominated in many. Sid got off early, hit a three and a tough two, put 5 on the board pretty quickly. But I thought the Bedford guards really controlled the tempo of the game. Very aggressive defensively, got out in transition, kept attacking the rim, particularly with Sid in foul trouble, and scored 19 in the quarter. So you'll take that. You'll take that all day, right?
To your point, led by Gerasi, that was the best quarter for Pinkerton the entire game. They had a 15-point quarter, and what does Bedford do? They dropped 19. So they maintain and then some. Brad, if this thing ends, the way it is, and I asked this to Coach Buskey when we talked to her in the pregame, what do you take from a game like this if it doesn't end up going your way on the scoreboard? Because certainly this is a Pinkerton team that's not that far off from being on the winning side of this if they can navigate through some difficult waters there, mostly in that second quarter where they were held to 8 points.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything new for that big three that we call them. Dupuy, Gerasi, and Benz have seen this kind of pressure and have played in these kinds of games. I think Lonnie will probably tell you her young kids are going to take a lot of, they'll have felt it, they'll have gone through a full game. When they see each other again on February 10th, I think those young kids will know what to expect. That's probably the biggest thing she'll take away.
And by no means is this game over as a long three goes around and out. But Coach Buskey even said, what are we doing differently here? And she says, I'm showing a lot of patience in the growth of this young team. And know thyself, right? And she knows her crew and she knows her squad. And as McCarthy finishes nicely at the cup, but kind of the small victories. I mean, you always look at the scoreboard, but there are some victories out here tonight for this Pinkerton team that certainly wasn't necessarily the case a year ago.
Oh, no question. I mean, it's a 14, 16-point game, but this thing was down to 7 early third quarter.
Yeah.
Very competitive first half. I think you take a lot out of this game if you're Pinkerton. Looks like they're likely heading for a loss here, but I think they've acquitted themselves pretty well, and that place is a tough place to play. That.
Yeah.
You've been over that Pinkerton gym long. That's a real difference. So we'll see what happens on February 10th.
Dupuy knocks down the first. Anytime you're down and you can score when the clock's not running, that's a benefit. So Dupuy going for her 6th made free throw, and she gets it. The senior 6-foot guard is 6 out of 8 here on the evening. Bulldogs now in the half court. McCarthy over the top. It goes to Zink. Eva, spin move and a pretty move in the paint. Couldn't get it to go. And a good job of getting that rebound. What a pass from Sid the Kid, and they couldn't finish. And I think they've missed a couple of those here tonight, Brad, that certainly could make this a much closer game.
Yeah. It just goes to show you, right? You against a team like this, you almost have to be perfect to beat them. And that's an awfully difficult thing to do.
Annie Zink gets the friendly roll. Shooter's touch here in the friendly confines of the Bulldog gym. We'll see this Bulldog team again, I believe, on Saturday as they play Wachusett, Mass. Downtown, Yahtzee, and a make there for Brooke Benz.
She's had a nice game for him.
She has 16 points, does the 5'10" junior forward.
She's hit a couple threes. Looks like
she's
expanded her range a little bit.
So Benz gives them another scoring touch. Out it comes, downtown, no. Offensive rebound gathered in there by Eva Zink. And she gets held. Good hustle by the 5'11" freshman forward. So Bedford will get possession. Each team one team foul. 55-42, 13-point advantage, 5:30 to go. So not over yet. Grace Wolf, top of the key. Gets it over to McCarthy. McCarthy a couple of dribbles and hands it off. Little penetration there by Zink. Even went over the top. Ball was intercepted by Dupuy. She'll run. Good transition defense by Bedford. Dupuis, little hesitation, and a good block shot there. Wow, what a good move by Zink. As it looked like an easy bucket, Zink played it well. 21-12, great rush album as Ella Allard comes in for Eva Zink. Nice job of controlling it there. Gerasi strong to the cup and a finish. And Gerasi, you know, you have to wonder too, Brad. She had 3 fouls there in the first half. Sat on the bench a bit and unable to get going, and
yeah, it's
has had a nice second half.
Yeah, look, the kid's a hell of a player. I mean, you know, she unfortunately got herself in a little bit of foul trouble, but took her out of her rhythm a little bit. But look, she's as good a scorer as you're going to find.
And again, they exchange buckets there, so the lead is still 13. Thought about chucking the three-pointer, couldn't. And they're going to say it was tipped, so no backcourt violation. Allard making life difficult on Dupuis. Dupuis spin move behind the back. Nice move there. And we'll give it back to Sid the Kid. Ooh, a nice crossover, but a good recovery by Zink. Benz loses the dribble at top of the key. This is Brown trying to find Gerasi on the low post. Coming over the top was, it looked like Annie Zink knocking it away, so ball will stay Pinkerton. 4:01 to go here in the game. We'll call it regulation because you never know. Nice drive, the baseline, good help. The reverse! Kaylee Dupuis. Nice make there. And the senior has 11. Pinkerton got it down to single digits here.
There's the mismatch on the block again.
McCarthy, pretty move. What a touch there by Mel.
Pinkerton hasn't had an answer for McCarthy down on the block all night long.
Dribble drive, spin, double team came, and it was stolen. Good help by Ella Allard. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. Good transition defense. Little pull-up jumper falls short. May have had a piece of it, so Dupuis had to grab it. 3:07 left in regulation. Dupuis protects the basketball, takes it right at McCarthy. And again, the lead is now 11.
Basically a push here in the second half. When it was a 10-point lead at half, right?
Yeah, there it is.
The scoring's opened up a little bit, but look, these are two good teams. You're going to look forward to February 10th, and
for sure.
You look across the gym, you see the Londonderry. It looks like pretty much the full squad here. It's a big game when Londonderry, who's also I think right in that mix, top 3, top 4 mix. Here checking out this game, and I think they've got both Pinkerton and Bedford still ahead of them.
They've had a pretty good season up to this point. They're looking to get far in that Division I tournament, and certainly you'll have to go through each of these teams if you want to get there.
Yeah, that's a very impressive group. I mean, we talked about Pinkerton's big three with with Gerasi and Benz and Dupuis. Londonderry's got a really dynamic trio. Their backcourt, Gemma Murray, Brooke Egret, and then just a really, really talented kid in Sammy Sullivan, who's got multiple Division I offers. Those three, when they get it going, are very, very tough. So we'll see. Those will be interesting games when those three teams hook up with each other. Yeah, I think very highly of Londonderry, and particularly that group of three. And then I think a guy Regan Anderson. I think you have worked with Regan's dad in the past and so forth. She's just one of those lunch pail kids that does all the dirty stuff. Very tough. Doesn't care if she scores a point, but will run through a wall for you. You need kids like that to win big games, and they're right there in the mix. There's no question, and they've really grown up over the last 12, 18 months. And Sammy's a junior now, and Brooks a junior, and Gemma Murray's made as big a jump as anybody from her freshman and sophomore year that I can think of across the state. So, I think the world of that group.
Has to be, the Bedford team has to be a favorite here, but certainly has the gap closed a little bit as you see it, Brad, with some of these top teams that we're talking about in the state in Division I?
Yeah, look, it's hard to lose a kid like Lana McCarthy and their starting point guard.
And as you say that, Mel goes up and makes a beautiful move at the cup.
Yeah, look, I mean, you got to give them their due, right?
Yeah.
Bedford's the favorite. Bedford's the favorite until someone, steps up and beats them.
Yeah.
You got to think that they're the favorite. And then I think both this Pinkerton team and that Londonderry team, they've got enough weapons that they can be really dangerous. And then you got a couple of other teams there right on the fringe there. The Girton kids are finding their way right now. Salem, Exeter, Windham, and so forth. So there's a cluster of 3 or 4 teams, I think, right after these 3 that, we'll see how they develop as the year goes on. A lot of youth there still, and they'll be a lot better in 45 days than they are right now.
No question about it. And some of these younger kids will be developed and brought along as knocking down the first of 2 is, I think that's Landy's. She's in the scoring column, but you look at the quarters of each of these teams, and it's a little skewed on the scoreboard now, but it's really the second quarter that did this this Pinkerton team in. Is otherwise it's pretty close all the way through. I think it's 12-10 right now. Bedford in the 4th.
Yeah. If somebody's going to beat, first of all, you're going to have to play an extremely clean game to beat this Bedford team.
Without question.
You can't turn it over. And, the team that beats this Bedford team, if anybody can.
Oh!
What a great move.
Gerasi making it rain.
Yeah. He's going to be the team that can figure out how to withstand that 32 minutes of just intense defensive pressure from that backcourt. And then, you got to make your shot. You got to make shots. You got to rebound the basketball. But you just can't turn it over against these guys and expect to win. So if somebody can crack that code, we'll see. Haven't seen it yet, though.
Who scored that one? I missed that.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been number 24.
Okay, I think Brown maybe?
Yes.
Little pull-up jumper, and we're going to get a foul here. And a relatively clean game played as well, Brad. Not a lot of fouls.
Nope.
A pretty clean game in that regard, and it's moved along at a pretty good pace because of that. As looks like Allard will pick up her second. Thought maybe it was on Collins, but went strong to the cup. Couldn't get it to go. Collins steals it, goes up.
Nice move. And
can't quite finish. Good rebound, trying to keep control. Was able to do it. Was Benz, got it over to Dupuis. 25 seconds to go now. Brown up top, 3-pointer, around and out. Muir, left-hand dribble. So this one is going to end with a Bulldog victory, but 13 points is the difference in this one, and you'll look back at that second quarter where it was a 16-8 effort by the Bulldogs that did this Pinkerton team in. But I'll tell you what, no quit in either of these teams. Got to be impressed. You got to like what you saw from the defending champs, but certainly Coach Buskey's crew, nothing to hang their heads over, as they gave a very valiant effort tonight in defeat.
Yeah, both teams take a lot of very workmanlike effort for the Bedford kids. Did what they had to do to win a game by 13. But their guards were terrific. I think Allard hit shots when she had the chance. But I think you saw some signs that Pinkerton team can hang, and they'll be right there when it matters.
It's a 65-52 Bedford Bulldog victory. They move to 5-0. On the young season. Pinkerton Academy falls to 4-1. We're going to see if we can get a post-game interview with Coach Kevin Gibbs up here. Hopefully we can, as Coach Craik shows his ability to head down to the floor. And I'm going to head down and see if I can't get Coach Gibbs.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Back to the left to the 5-yard line, stretches it out. That's Anthony D. He gets out to the 25. He breaks another tackle to the 30, the 35, the 40, 50, the 45, the 40, 30, 25. There's nobody near him.
No flags.
What a play!
Anthony D goes the distance. D stands for distance. The Clippers on the low block, kick out downtown, Yahtzee.
Two pitch, face hit left field. Austin Suchecki gets it done.
In front of the goal mouth, they jump for it. The header finds the back of the net. Hadley Camo with a spectacular play.
Welcome back to the campus at Bedford High School, home of the Bulldogs. I'm here with the head coach, Kevin Gibbs. And Coach, a great back-and-forth game between you and Pinkerton Academy. Tell me what you liked about what you saw from your girls here this evening.
Resilience. They came out, punched us pretty hard early, and the kids fought back. There were a lot of things that we need to work on, quite honestly. There were a lot of things we need to work on. We traded baskets a lot when we should have gotten some defensive stops. Here we go. We're running live.
Coaches.
Yeah, really.
He's out here recruiting right now, folks.
Right,
Don't let him kid you. They're having a practice right now run by Coach Kevin Gibbs.
But in terms of you know, what really to me stood out was, you know, we had Annie Zink on Sid and basically said, you're her new best friend.
Yeah.
She did a nice job on her.
Yeah.
Kate Allard came up with some really big hoops for us and made some nice defensive plays, had a couple of nice blocks. And, you know, overall, I think, you know, both coaches went strong tonight. We didn't do a whole lot of subbing.
Yep.
And the kids proved that they belonged out there and did what they did.
A team that you'll see, by the way, a little bit later
in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In about 3 weeks. But that's intentional. Busk and I talked, and, you know, we wanted to get as strong a schedule as possible, and we agreed to play twice. So, you know, it'd be better if we played a few other teams home and home, too.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily good for the stomach lining and the hairline at times, but, you know, the reality is that these are the games that you want to be playing. These are the games you want to be playing.
No rest for the weary. You come back, and I believe you play Friday night, right, against Memorial, and then you come back the next day and have to go to Wachusett.
Right, which is a very strong team. I had a chance to scout them this past weekend. They are kind of a mirror image of us. They have a Kate Allard type player. They have an Annie Zink type player. They have a Sarah Muir type player. It'll be a good match. It'll be a good match. They're a good team, and again, we go looking for those types of games. It's important.
And to that point, I talked to Coach Buskey in the pregame about iron sharpens iron. So anytime you can play against better competition, that kind of prepares you for the postseason, doesn't it?
Most definitely. And you know, it sometimes when you go through a game like this one, you're like, what was I thinking? But win or lose, what you're really doing is you're preparing your kids for the postseason. And you know, we learned some things tonight. We learned some things that we have to work on. We learned some things that we need to continue to drill into our kids. And we learned who can do certain things for us that we might need at critical times.
I want to ask you this. How important is it for you and your team to watch video after a game, especially knowing you have short, you got to come back Friday night, and then you got to go against Wachusett. But how much will a game like tonight be watched on Huddle and be played back, and in terms of notes and things to mention to your girls on film?
I can tell you that tonight I'll go home. I'll send the stuff out that I always need to send out to the various media people. I will send the film to Huddle, and then I will sit down and I will watch it at least once, maybe twice. I then, you know, talk and encourage the girls to watch as well. But we look for different trends and things that we need to clean up and then work on them. It'll be part of our practice plan tomorrow, part of our practice plan on Thursday.
Well, best of luck, Coach. I know it'll be a long night for you, busy week. We're going to see you in Wachusett. I think we're making the trip to go cover your game there. So thank you for taking time, and congratulations on a great win here tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Coach Kevin Gibbs of the undefeated Bedford Bulldogs. They moved to 5-0 here on the season. They'll be in action again Friday night against Manchester Memorial, and then they'll head to Wachusett. I got to jump in this game right here. Hey, no one's picked me yet. What team do I get to play on? All right, I got to get to work here, Steve. I don't think I have quite the cardio, but I'm going to give it a shot. For my partner, Steve Cody, Brad Craik on the color commentary, my name's Jason Roby, reminding you that it's not the critic who counts, but you can always count on the critic. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. All right, whose team am I on?